Hi, I'm Morris Parker and welcome to the Powerade Super Skiff Series coming to you from beautiful Sydney Harbour. Today we have two races, Race 5 and Race 6. Let's go to the starting lineup for Race 5. And here they are, Richard Ellis, Pace Express, FGI, Line 7, Rack Roof Racks, Skilled Contract Labour, Lexmark, Mitsubishi Electric, ITNT and AFS. It should be a great race. As they continue preparations there at Double Bay, let's have a look at the points table after 4 races. Richard Ellis on 30 points is tied with Pace Express. There's Lexmark there on 22, having a good series, Mitsubishi Electric on 21. As you can see, some skiffs yet to score, but have a look out for Skilled, Rack and AFS. Let's have a look at today's weather report. And obviously the choice of rigs for today's racing is going to be very important for the skippers. It's a partly cloudy day, a constant breeze from the southeast, wind 12 to 15 knots, 21 degrees, and all skippers have chosen number 2, all small rigs. Beautiful Double Bay there right now, and joining me in expert commentary this week is Brett Weinberg. Brett, welcome to the Powerade Super Skiff Series.
Thanks, Morris. I've got some late news for you, actually. It looks as though Richard Ellis have gone for a big rig, which is going to be very unusual in these conditions. A bit of a gamble for them, and let's hope it comes off.
Boats going there at Double Bay, because this is race number 5 of the series. We're, I guess, pretty much halfway through.
That's right. Yeah, it's been a very good series to date.
Don't jump off the wharf. There's plenty more to come in race 5 of the Powerade Super Skiff Series. Welcome back to race 5 of the Powerade Super Skiff Series. Let's have a look at today's course.
A great course, Morris. Again, work up to the windward mark, put the kites up, head down to that jibe mark, flip them over onto the other side, and then run down to the leeward mark. Work back up through the start gate to the windward mark, and then it's a run home with the spinnakers up. Should be a great race. I'm looking forward to it.
You've been out in the course. How are the conditions out there today, mate?
Well, there looks to be a bit of chop to me, Morris. A lot more chop than I thought. Now, well, they're experiencing it now. They're just starting off from the race, and it looks like Line 7's got away very, very well.
A good start there for Line 7, with Mitsubishi just close behind at the moment.
The Mitsubishi close behind. AFS got away well. Rack, FGI. It's a good, clean start. And it looks as though Tony Hannon's heading out there to try and find some wind on one of the shorelines. Doing very, very well.
These choppy conditions and fluky wind conditions are going to, I reckon, separate the fleet. I reckon some of them are going to go inshore today.
It looks as though they've headed off in 2 totally different directions, doesn't it? And that's a gamble for everybody. You make the choice, and that's what you live with.
I'll tell you one thing, mate, it's confusing as a commentator. Your eyes and ears have got to be everywhere.
You did right, Morris, you did right.
Pace Express there, a strong performer as always. Line 7 seat, Line 7 and AFS. Look how close they are to the shore. The camera is a bit deceiving, but they're very close.
Looks as though they could almost run aground, doesn't it? Yeah, Tony Hannon and Graham Turner know the conditions on Sydney Harbour very well, and they look as though they've picked a good area to go into. Over there by the shore, get a little bit of a lift off the heat of the land. Good move.
Pace Express, of course, looking very strong. There's Richard Ellis. Not a great start from Richard Ellis. Line 7 there, the Captain Cook Cruise boat behind, not helping at all.
No, taking the lift that he was hoping to get off the shoreline there a little bit, and he's not going to be pleased about that. There's a problem.
Someone's down. I don't know. I can't actually see who's down at the moment, but
looks to me like Skilled, Morris. They've got nice little swim there. Oh, and these guys are having a problem on Richard Ellis as well.
See, what's happening is they're actually stalling for a change.
That's dead right. There's problem with Richard Ellis, because they've got this big rig on. They're the only boat in this race that's chosen a big rig, and I think they're being overpowered a bit by the wind.
Now, it's all very well to head into the shore like Line 7 has done, but the thing is, it's a very big gamble. You can get there, and everything can die on you.
You can get a hole in there. There can be nothing in there, no air at all, and the gamble seems to have paid off this time for Tony Hannon. The other thing he's got to do is make sure that he gets that right line to the mark so that he doesn't have to tack before he gets there and he gets around it cleanly.
I'll tell you one thing, Brett. In this race here, when they get to the first mark, we're going to have skiffs coming in from all directions, aren't we?
It'll be like a pair of scissors, I guess, Morris. They'll just all hit it from different angles, as we can see. Rack just cutting there across Mitsubishi. But AFS has got around second, following Line 7, and a nice set there on their kite. Mitsubishi chasing, and Rack has snuck in there in between them and the leaders.
Gee, that's a good performance from Rack. Very quiet in the early races of the series. Probably its best performance so far. Of course, this is race 5 of the Powerade Super Skiff Series, coming to you from Sydney Harbour. Terrific shot there of Line 7. We can see Pace Express. Pace, a terrific performer. Very consistent, having a great series.
And getting better and better, Morris. A great set there from them. Stephen Quigley's got the crew working very, very well together, and they'll give this series a bit of a hurry up, I'm sure.
I'll tell you one thing, Line 7's gamble of going into the shore has really paid off. This is a great battle between these two.
Great jewel, and I hope... Whoa, there's a bit of a problem there. I think Lexmark they're over. They'll have a swim today.
You know, I'll tell you one thing, Lexmark is having a funny series. They always go out strong and then something goes terribly wrong. I don't know what it is.
It's hot and cold, isn't it? They either win or they do things like that. Bad luck for them. They're out of the race today.
Boys, enjoy the swim home.
Exactly.
AFS, a terrific shot there. The boys on the kite there. AFS looking very strong as well. IT&T, now they've got inshore as well.
They look to be having some problems off that headland, Morris, don't they? I think they're getting fluky winds from it. Yeah, they are. They've got major problems. I just hope they can keep it up rather than going over totally like Lexmark did. But, the kite's there all over the place. In the water again for the lads. It's very difficult. They've just come out from behind a headland there into the main harbour area, and the wind will be totally different. That's why they're having problems.
As you mentioned, it is a gamble going in there. But as you can see, may well be a gamble that Line 7 may pay off.
That's right. They're out in front, well out in front. AFS chasing them. Just got that kite down, and they've stalled slightly, having a few problems, but on the work up they'll do very, very well. IT&T still having problems getting that kite under control.
More congestion there. Some of the smaller yachts out there sailing today as well. Pace Express there, Rack, Mitsubishi Electric.
And here we can see them going off in totally different directions. Mitsubishi Electric heading towards us, and Pace heading the other way into that shore where Tony Hannon went and got those big lifts, and obviously hoping to get exactly the same thing.
Every day is a different day on the harbour, especially when it comes to racing like this. And I guess if you know the harbour, a great advantage.
Dead right. Graham Turner on AFS has shown his knowledge of the harbour. He's the one that's picked a lot of the holes and avoided them, and also picked a lot of the wind shifts, and that's why he's right up there with Tony Hannon. Experience.
Boys looking good there on Mitsubishi Electric. That was a good move by them, actually.
A very nice tack. They kept the boat speed up as they went around, and that's the secret to a great tack. You can't let the boat stall in the water. And
there's Rack on screen there. Probably its strongest race of the series so far. Rack performing very well. Better watch out for them, I reckon.
Yeah, that's true, Morris. Very true. They're one of those solid performers. But these guys on Line 7 seem to have done it again. They've picked a great wind shift and a great lift off the headland there. And they're going to be very, very hard to beat. The ferry just coming in there just to cut off anyone that happens to be following them.
Very interesting. Then the ferry actually didn't have any effect on Line 7. They've made the right manoeuvres at the right time.
That's right. Dead right. Mitsubishi Electric on the other side of the ferry. They'll get a wind shadow from that, and that'll affect them.
Up she goes. Yep.
Yeah, they're around the mark ahead of AFS. Got their kite up, and it's a run home now for Line 7. I don't think that Graham Turner on AFS can catch them. These guys just don't make mistakes. Once they get in front, they hold on to it.
Well, the thing is, Brett, you can't make a mistake. That's the point in this sprint series.
Morris, the legs are too short. One minor mistake, the wrong line, picking the wrong roundings, those sorts of things, and it's all over for you. No mistakes.
Mitsubishi doing its best to try and get up to the lead, but I don't think you can catch line 7. They're just far too strong.
Well, as you can see in the background there, Morris, they're a long way ahead. And they've got AFS going as hard as they can to try and catch them, but I just can't see them catching up. These line 7 guys have had a great day today.
There's AFS doing their best to catch up. Let's look at the rest of the fleet. We've got Mitsubishi Electric there, Richard Ellis, of course, and Pace Express. Coming up, the exciting finish to race 5 of the Powerade Super Skiff Series. Welcome back to the closing stages of race 5 of the Powerade Super Skiff Series. In very choppy conditions here on Sydney Harbour at the moment. A view from the air, you can see line 7 there, the crew out there on the wing, spinnakers up. A very strong performer, this crew, they really are, and consistent. That's the real secret of this kind of racing. Line 7, they've been consistent in every race, they're very strong. Would you have to agree with that, Brett?
Totally, Morris. They're a great, great crew, and that's a terrific shot of them too, giving you an idea of just how a good crew works together. And here's another great crew too, AFS and Graham Turner. They really know what they're doing.
Really fluky conditions in this race. You found the fleet split up, going to different marks, but line 7 has done the right tactic. They went into the shoreline. The gamble paid off, and that's a terrific bet.
They chose the right thing to do, and they did it very, very well. You know, they're a great crew, and Tony Hannon has a great eye for wind conditions.
And look at him there, what a show-off. He's just sitting back in there, relaxing as they bring it towards the finish line right now. Another great win at line 7. As I said, a great, consistent performer. They must be happy with this.
Yeah, they look very, very happy, don't they? A little bit of a pat on the back.
The winners, line 7 in race 5.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We saw the ferry at the start there and wanted to be above it so we could get plenty of breeze right on the start. That worked out well for us. Yeah, jumped all the way.
This is a night for us today, we're quite happy with the way it's going. A smaller fleet this time though. Well, that's the way it goes. A lot of breaks going on today.
A good result there for AFS coming in second after line 7. Of course, Mitsubishi Electric skippered there by Ben Dewitt. Their results after race 5. First up, Tony, congratulations, a good win in race 5.
Yes, thanks very much. You know, the boys sailed well all race. We got a good start. There was a ferry that just crossed the whole fleet just before the start, and we sort of saw him, and we got a good start and led round every mark and had a win the whole way.
The crew's been performing well over the series, haven't they?
Yeah, the boys are getting it together slowly, I think, but you know, it's coming together good now.
Well, good luck with the rest of the series.
Thank you.
Let's go to the points table after race 5 of the series. And Richard Ellis still on top with 37 points. They're doing extremely well. A hard skiff to beat. Pace Express on 34, Mitsubishi Electric 29, Line 7 24, Lexmark 24, TUE Barracuda 20. And good to see skilled contract labour on the points board there with 3 points. Also improving, IT&T also on 3 points. Well, here it is, the start of race 6 of the series, and a great start there by Yandu over Skilled and Line 7. And as you can see, the breeze is beginning to freshen. Let's have a quick look at the fleet lineup for this race. Richard Ellis, Pace Express, Mitsubishi Electric, TUE Barracuda, Rack Roof Racks, IT&T, Skilled Contract Labour, Lexmark, Yandu, AFS, FGI and Line 7. It's good to see Yandu and TUE Barracuda back in the water for this race after suffering gear problems, which kept them out of race 5 earlier today. Gee, a real bonus for you sailing fans out there today. 2 races in one show. They're off and racing for race number 6 in the series.
Richard Ellis still out there with that big rig on. I hope he can keep it under control because that breeze is really freshening.
There they are, the lineup. AI Pace Express, Line 7, Skilled and Yandu, and before, of course, we saw TUE Barracuda, the family affair.
Good to see Trevor back out there after gear problems. He'll have a good race today, I'm sure.
I'll tell you one thing, Brett, Yandu's had a great start. I mean, that's probably one of its better starts.
Yeah, well, John Winning's a great sailor. He's been around for a long, long time and competed very, very well in the Australian and World Championships, and he knows what he's doing.
Not as long as you, though. Hasn't been around as long as you, mate.
Well, that's probably true, Morris. That's probably unfortunately true. There they are, just moving around on the boat. Nice tack. Very, very smooth. Keeping up the boat speed. Terrific stuff. Oh, stalled a little, but they're doing very, very nicely. Pace just following them up with the Sydney showboat in the background there. These boys will go. Yeah, they've gone now, and they're another nice tack by them too. Pace is doing a very, very good job. Good boat, good crew, and they're coming good at the right end of the series.
And of course, around the mark, that's where tactics really play an important role. You've got to be thinking about it before you come down there, then do your moves.
That's right. You've got to set up the right line so that you don't have to tack or jibe close to the mark, which is going to slow you down, and getting those lines right is very, very important.
I have a sense of deja vu here. Look at this. The fleet once again heading towards the shoreline as they did in race 5.
Well, they saw what Tony Hanna did last time, and he was the winner in race 5, and everybody's taking up the line out there to the shore to get that lift, because there's obviously a lot of lifts out there.
2UE Barracuda there, a great shot of them from the air. Up goes Skill Spinnaker.
Yeah, they've got it up fairly slowly, haven't they?
See, I'll tell you one thing. Skill is not performing as well as they should at the moment. Something must be wrong. I don't know, maybe just one of those days.
Could be. A little bit of chop there might be setting them off. But there's some great, great boats in this race, and any minor mistakes mean that you drop back very quickly.
With this sprint series, let's be honest, you can't catch up, can you?
No, you can't. We've seen minor problems for people like Richard Ellis, skilled last time as well, and also Trevor Barnabas at times, really affecting the race. And you make one mistake and you're out of it, basically.
The start is always critical.
Everything's critical in these races, it seems. Rounding the marks, putting your spinners up, pulling them down. Everything is critical because there's such short races.
Ooh, not too good there for 2UE Barracuda. Let's talk about these skiffs. Technically, they're really high-tech out in the water, aren't they?
They're incredibly high-tech things. Computer designed, lasers cut the sails, they pull down the amount of weight in these boats incredibly. A couple of people can lift these boats up, even though it doesn't look like it. They're amazing things.
Look at that. Skill, once again, not performing well at all. They're slipping and sliding all over the skiff at the moment. Yandu, Pace Express, and looks to me, yes, Mitsubishi Electric there on screen there.
A few people seem to be having problems, don't they? It's, again, the conditions, I'm sure, Morris. And the chop is just affecting them a little bit.
You've really got to know the harbour, like most of these guys do. But even though you might know it, fluky winds change. Next thing you know, you're all over the shop.
And it's the competition as well. You know, these guys try and force each other into compromising positions so that they take their wind, force them into the shore, force them into other traffic, into wake. There's a lot of gamesmanship out there.
I'll tell you one thing, Brett, having hung around these guys for the last 5 weeks, there's no love lost out on the water. Sure, they can have a drink at the club afterwards, but once these guys get out there, it's a battleground.
You're dead right. They're looking to make life as difficult as possible for each other so that they can get a little bit of an advantage.
Well, there's so much riding on these skiffs. They're fully sponsored, so they've got to do the job for the sponsor as well.
That's right, and also there's a lot of pride in winning a series or in even winning a race, and they're all going at it as hard as they can.
Richard Ellis there, not having a great day today out in the water, but maybe just one of those days. Maybe the conditions have affected them in such a way they just can't find the rhythm. Now, sailing, of course, is a rhythm. You've got to be in sync with with the environment and your crew.
And you've got to be able to pick the wind too, and it looks to me as though everybody's trying to get out there and get an advantage over each other.
Looking pretty strong at the moment is 2UE Barracuda, a family affair there, all the sons on board. Can't beat that, can you? Coming up, the conclusion to race 6 of the Powerade Super Skiff Series.